Welcome, dear listener. I'm Lyra. Tonight, I'll share with you a heart-touching story of two families, two little girls, and one unforgettable lesson in forgiveness. Long ago, in a quiet little town, there lived two best friends, David and John. Their houses stood side by side, and their lives were woven together like threads of the same cloth. Every morning, they greeted each other with a smile. In times of trouble, they stood shoulder to shoulder. And whenever there was a celebration, you could bet they were always together, laughing, sharing, and rejoicing. David had a bright-eyed daughter named Emily, while John had a sweet daughter named Sarah. The girls were inseparable. In school, they sat side by side, whispering secrets, sharing sandwiches at lunch, and giggling on the playground until the bell rang. But life has its twists. At home, John raised a few chickens, while David proudly kept a playful dog named Max. Now, Max had a mischievous streak. Whenever he saw the chickens, he just couldn't resist. He would sneak in and snatch one away. At first, John laughed it off, but as his chickens kept disappearing, patience turned to frustration. Finally, he warned David, "Control Max or there will be trouble." David tried, but Max was Max, and one fateful day, he went too far. He snatched not one, but two chickens. That was the last straw. John's anger boiled over. He waited near his chicken coop with a stick in hand, and when Max sneaked in again, thwack, he struck the poor dog, leaving Max limping and crying in pain. David saw this and was furious. Words flew like arrows, harsh and bitter, and from that moment, a wall of silence rose between the two families. David forbid Emily from seeing Sarah, and John did the same. Two little girls, once full of joy, were suddenly torn apart. Their laughter was gone, replaced with heavy silence and tearful eyes. But fate had its own plans. One afternoon, Sarah was playing near the river behind their school when she heard a splash. She turned, and her heart froze. It was Emily, struggling in the deep water, gasping, sinking, and rising with every desperate breath. Sarah panicked for a moment, but then courage sparked inside her. She spotted a strong vine dangling from a tree. Without thinking, she tugged it down, threw it toward Emily, and shouted with all her strength, "Emily, grab it, hold on tight!" Emily's trembling hands clutched the vine. Sarah pulled with all her might, her voice breaking as she screamed for help. Her cries reached the schoolteacher and nearby students. They rushed to the bank, pulling together, fighting the river's grip, until finally, Emily was dragged to safety. But she had swallowed too much water and lay weak and trembling. News spread like wildfire. Within minutes, David and John came running to the riverbank. Breathless, terrified, they looked on as the teacher turned to John and said, "John, you forbade your daughter from being with Sarah. And yet, today, it was Sarah who saved Emily's life. If she hadn't acted quickly, you would have lost your child forever." Silence fell. John's head dropped in shame. His eyes filled with tears. Turning to David, he whispered, "Brother, forgive me. If not for Sarah, I would have lost everything. Let's forget our anger. Let us be as we were before." David's own eyes brimmed with tears. He placed his hand on John's shoulder and said softly, "It's over, my friend. What's done is done." In that moment, after so long, the two men embraced. And as their daughters Emily and Sarah smiled again, side by side, the whole town seemed to breathe a sigh of relief. And so, dear listener, remember this. Anger can break even the closest bonds. But love, forgiveness, and friendship, they can heal wounds deeper than we ever imagine. Never let small quarrels steal away the joy of the people who truly matter in your life.